All right, big man, we're I don't know, what, 3 4 weeks out, something like that, from what's very possibly a national record. So at 3 weeks out, I'm going through your video, went through your video, and I went to set up and make you a video and talk to you, and then I stopped and thought, nah, I'll just type it out. And then I watched your video, and I got so fired up watching your video. I'm like, yeah, I got to talk to this guy. Your squat, man, that's nutty. That is nutty. Is that you have enough control to hit depth with only a very small amount of chains on the bar. And that's hard to do because when you unwrap that amount of weight and you walk that back like a mile, which we need to cut that down a little bit, but you walk that back with chains, we're talking maximal weight plus chains, maintain stability and air and tightness. And when you're at the top of a heavy squat and you have chains on the bar, which are different than bands, when you have the chains on the bar, it feels heavy. It feels real and real heavy. So when you go down, people tend to cut depth because it gets lighter as you go down, especially in gear, because you go down at a certain rate at the top and then people tend to slow down as they go down. The gear tightens up. And they end up not hitting depth. I think you're really close on depth. Depends on what the judges are, but you know your federation a lot better than me. Your first set, I don't want to say weights, but your first set on the video, next to last set, was way below all depth, all federations. It's ridiculous. Your set with your last set, your heavy set with the ridiculous number on the bar. Of course, I'm giving you white lights on everything. I love you, but make sure that you're getting white lights out of that. I downloaded it, still framed it, twisted the camera so it's even, and you broke depth, but cannot leave any questions on contest day. It's just nuts. You asked about the good mornings. You're doing the free good mornings. They're perfect. I know a lot of people they would definitely look at your video and say, you're just doing like a quarter good morning, not even a half good morning. That's the way it should be. You started the lift with a hard arch in your back, and you only went down until that hard arch locked up. The only way you're getting any deeper it's not just a hard arch, it's a perfect arch. It's the way an arch should be. The only way you're getting deeper in that is if you lose your arch. You maintained complete vertical shins. Nobody does that. It was only a hip movement with the hips going back, and the arch was perfect. So those are absolutely, I guarantee you felt those a lot more than you would have if you would have lost your arch and went down and done a full good morning. And that's a very appropriate weight as well. It's heavy weight. That's going to transfer over into your squat and deadlift. If you look at, if you compare that range of motion to your deadlift, that's a very applicable range of motion for your deadlift, especially with your suit giving you just a little bit off the floor. That's the point where your body is going to be slowing down. Nailed it. Speaking of your deadlift looked absolutely wonderful. I'm just making sure that deadlift suit's got Velcro on it. Are you sure that deadlift suit is fully acceptable in your federation? Make sure it is. Just make sure it is. And whatever requirements that you have to do with that gear for your federation, make sure that we do it now. Any alterations, covering up stuff, make sure it's done as soon as possible. Onto your bench, and this is where I may have to leave you some different options this week. You've got to get a total, and obviously it would be nice to walk away with a record total as well. You've got to get a bench in. I know that you want a PR. I think a lot's going to depend on how the squat goes. If the squat goes the way that you want it, then I think you're either going to be pretty satisfied for the rest of the day, and you're going to be okay mentally with hitting openers in seconds, and being safe and smiling and having a good time and just getting a total in to make sure that squat counts. Or you're going to be like, today's the day, I'm going for it. I'm make it or not, I'm going for it. Either way, if we beat your body up on the bench press, I mean, we know that we're not going to get too much more out of your bench press between now and then unless I can put 20 pounds of weight on you. So why do we push bench a ton more? You need the work in your shirt, and I know the shirt beats you up. So we have a couple of options, and I'll try to keep the options free-flowing for the next few weeks. But pretty much the same kind of session that we did this last week, where you're basically doing speed work off a board in your shirt, is where I would like to see you, because I want you to be comfortable in your shirt, and I want you to be comfortable. I want you to know what you can touch and what you can't. So I will try to lower the volume as much as I can. You promise me that you'll be safe. You'll make adjustments when you need to make adjustments. You'll take longer rest periods if you need longer rest periods. You'll stay at a lighter weight. You'll use a 3-board if you need to use a 3-board to keep your joints healthy. And then I will always leave you the options to take heavier singles at whatever height or depth, whatever you want to call it, after your speed work from now on. But we've only got a couple sessions left, so I want to make those count as much as possible. But you're doing really well in your shirt. You don't have that shirt jacked down very much. You don't have it cinched with a belt. That worries me that you're not getting the most out of your shirt. So I would like to hear from you on video. I haven't heard from you on video in a while, bro chacho. On how that shirt feels to you and what's going on with the shirt. And then, your deadlift looked amazing. Technically, it was amazing. You're not missing anything on the deadlift. So anyway, I'm going to upload this, send this to you, make some adjustments to your week, and get you that email here in the next half hour. Have a good one, man. Talk to me. Send me a video. Talk back and forth. I haven't heard from you in a long time.